Okay. In three, two, one. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. This has been quite the morning. Impromptu to say the least. Our inner beings are messing with us. And we originally were going to do a high vibe chat with Anthony, and we were going to talk about music and this and that. And our beautiful friend Noah showed up, which is hysterical because we had talked about doing a three-way conversation anyways. And so here it is. So careful what you ask for. Boom. And I just said to Noah and hey, I feel like this is a good triangle. And Anthony says trios are my favorite musical groups, right, Anthony?
Yeah, we got a power trio going on here. We got guitar, bass, drums.
And thank you, Noah, for being camera ready in a matter of like literally a minute. I'm like, hey, Noah, can you be camera ready? And he's like, sure, sure, Carrie. That's that magnet, Noah, of me like sucking you in.
Mhm. I want to start with something because I
Yes,
was watching my
yes.
hair today and I was like, why am I able to join this chat? Like, I don't want to like interrupt them while they're doing their thing. I'm just going to go listen to Abraham. And it was from like 1993 and it's about music. And I'm like, well, is it this convenient? And the wild thing was, I forget who the sound man at the event is, but he was saying that when Esther talks and when Abraham talks, it sounds the same to the ear, but for whatever reason, on the computer, there is a larger energy being recorded when Abraham is talking. It's like the same, we hear it the same way, but the way they described it was there was more sustained energy in the Abraham voice on the recording.
That makes complete sense. And I feel like that's what's happening today. I don't know, Anthony, what is your take on all of this craziness this morning and sound issues and like our triad of wanting to have this conversation? What's your take on all this?
I mean, I'm just trying to slip into a. I'm really feeling an appreciation for Noah actually, and just turning up actually, and bringing the music because I've been feeling a really strong urge to discuss sound and music with you in this high vibe chat.
So you're the
And
one,
then Noah,
all this screwing around. We're literally an hour of effing around, and all you had to do was say, Noah, I want you to join us. Oh my
Literally, like I just finished getting ready and I'm like, let's go see what's going on. And like 5 minutes later, we start our high vibe chat.
And the fact that you just got that nugget about sound, and maybe that's it, you guys, because this is the way my life has been going lately. I merely have a thought, and then people come out of the freaking woodwork. So, like I said, the three of us kind of started this music. Oh, and the cat. Oh my God, the cat. The three of us kind of started this thought. Oh, this thought form like a couple weeks ago, right, Anthony?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, this is how it works. Careful what you ask for. And it's funny how your inner being just says, okay, here we go. And pulls like, okay, here's Noah, here's Anthony, here's Carrie. We're pulling you into a nucleus is what I heard of let's play, and the fact that this is so much bigger and that we're collecting thoughts and ideas and receiving along the way. And literally, you guys, today was so, you cannot make this shit up how the three of us landed here. And then Noah, you received that nugget about um sound and vibration. And
Mhm.
so I don't know. Without further ado, who wants to jump in first? Because I clearly am just the person. Yeah, jump, buddy.
I'm having like very clear flashbacks to moments of high musical impact for me over the last year. So there's a morning when I was writing a list of positive aspects, and then I was getting onto a run of mornings of writing a rampage from them. And then I went for a jog in Battersea Park here, and then John Coltrane, incredible jazz musician, came on with his version of My Favorite Things, which for me is just awesome and is a direct access to Abe and the Vortex. Check out John Coltrane, My Favorite Things. He takes the original and he takes it, it's 13 minutes of amazingness. And then on the morning of Edinburgh, I went for a run in the morning, and then just what flashed up in my Instagram was a post about John Coltrane and his wife, and how he saw music and his saxophone as a direct way of connecting to source and to spirit and to higher consciousness. And then that really got me into the mood for the chat. And then you remember Esther was talking about that song, It Feels Good to Be Me by Uncle Kracker. And then that played at the very end of that 2-day seminar. And I was sitting there just buzzed out from the whole thing. And at the very end of that song, it says, "Damn, it feels good to be me." And he references, "It's like I caught some Coltrane Love Supreme." I was like, everything just comes together. And this has been happening so often since Edinburgh for me, where music, Abe, source, music, Abe, source, Vortex, music, Abraham, just round and round in a trio for me. So hence the trio today. So that feels very, very powerful. I'm getting flurries of references to music, and how you said in the lead into this original chat, how source is communicating with us through music. So that's just for starters.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump in and say yes, yes, yes. And Noah and I talk about music all the time. Noah will like walk into CVC and the craziest things are playing. And me too. Like I was trying to manifest, not trying to manifest, but I was thinking about Canadian cruise, and the boat is named Silhouette. And I was having some conversations with friends about, oh, I'm going to get on Canadian cruise, which of course I always wait till it sells out. Then I try to get into Abe events because that's more fun. Anyways, driving down the road flying high, thinking about Canadian cruise and the boat and Silhouette. And my friend text messages me a thing. I just brought her a plant, and she looked up the plant and it said something known for its silhouette. And she had just texted me. She goes, "Isn't your boat named Silhouette?" I said, "Oh my God, it is." And within, I don't know, seconds, on the dash of my car, a song plays and it's Poets and Silhouettes. I mean, I almost drove off the road, but yet it's commonplace, right, Noah? Like, this happens to you as well all the
Yeah.
time.
However I'm feeling, the radio will have some sort of song, and then I'll Shazam it, and then I'll figure out, like, oh, how poignant and relevant that I'm here and this is here at the same time. The video I was watching, she was calling it a crescendo, and how the cymbals, they go clang clang at the right time, and we all join in and we're singing the song. There's song here. So
It really is. And it's the words are always perfect. I think you mentioned this, Anthony, where they just hit you. The words hit you like a tuning fork, and then they just resonate. And we're sitting here as physical beings going, holy shit, did they just say? And it's like, yes, yes, we did. We literally said it out loud for you, set to music. A while ago, there was a guy who was a musician. Anthony, you and I have talked about this. There was a guy in the hot seat, and he was a musician. And then he also had a parrot. He was gifted a parrot or whatever. And then the parrot transitioned, and he was back in the hot seat again. And he wanted to talk about his parrot with Abraham. And he said, when the parrot was alive, the parrot would whistle a tune to me, and then I would whistle back, even if I was in my room or something. And he said, I think I hear my parrot whistling to me. And they're like, of course you hear your non physical parrot whistling to you. The relationship doesn't end, it keeps going and going and going. And then they said, the two ways in which we are most able to connect with humans are birds and music. And they said, you got a double whammy, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, I
Mm.
think we spend so much time either
Mm.
downplaying the messages that we're receiving, whether it's music or seeing things, but we spend a lot of time. This is just my perspective as of late. We we've spent so much time downplaying what we're receiving, because of maybe society or what somebody else in our world thinks about it. But I think Noah and I, when we first cracked out with the very first high vibe chat, we're like, screw it.
Yeah.
We're talking to dead people. We've been channeling Prince and hearing from this and that. And I think that's one of the delights about Noah and I, is we just jumped in. We just have these conversations. We just go there. We say what we're saying, and I think that was my original intention too, not only for myself, but in this co-creative process that we're all doing here, and as we play as Abraham friends, or everybody friends. Okay, Louise Hay has something to say. She says that was my bit. Everyone friends, whether it's Louise Hay or Wayne Dyer, or Jerry, like we're all in this together, and this play is so much fun. But I really wanted to just rip the band-aid off and say, hey, I had this amazing moment with Coltrane and it resonated in this, and then you can't make this stuff up. It's there, we're hearing it, we're receiving it. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about how it's rocking our world, and then how we can expand once we accept the messages. Anybody want to chat on that?
Yeah, there's two things. One is the phrase that comes to me is your inner being is always whispering to you, is always communicating through you. And then the idea that this communication comes in all kinds of forms. And then I've got the word visceral, the way music just gets you visceral, boom.
I was
And that's
totally
really
thinking
been,
as you said that, you said whisper, and I kind of went back to the drums and the is it a tambourine? The one where they take the drumsticks and it's
the symbol.
The
yeah.
symbol.
Yeah, you said whisper and I heard but you like the drums and going crazy, and then you said crescendo, Noah. Yeah, like sometimes it's not, sometimes it's a whisper, and sometimes it's, like you said, way more. And you mentioned that too about Coltrane and the apex.
Mm.
It's like you're on.
It's like when it cuts through like rational thought and trying to figure it out, and there's just a very clear message of like, right, do this, or this is the path now for you, or listen to this song, or go there. And in London, what I do is sometimes I go to open mics, and sometimes I get a very strong message to go to a certain open mic event, and then that leads to very strong things. Or it's this and music is often connected to getting messages from source for me. I'm gonna yeah. There's one day a week. I'm a teacher in a primary school, so an elementary school, and there was one day in July where the class we were chugging along, and it was a maths lesson, and then I just got a very clear message: this lesson needs to end early. It's like, okay, so we wrapped it early. They all got it done, and it was all fine, and everyone got ticks. It was fine. They need to hear the live version of Bryan Adams singing Heaven at Wembley. So I put it on the big projector, and everybody is now listening to like the live version. They're singing along to it, and the boys in the back are doing the fake air drums and air guitar. And then from that, a whole succession of really positive events in my life unfolded, connected to music. But it was that kind of listening to that impulse of, yeah, just do this. This ends now, play them that. And if I'd have tried to figure it out and go, okay, how can I connect to source today? What do I need to do to be as A-B as possible, as opposed to, I guess, the crescendo or the smashing of the cymbals? It was like, no, stop the maths lesson, play the live video.
It really is that way. Like, forget about trying to plan something. Like, let go, give them the reins. And so, right as you were saying this, Julianne sent me this morning. She said, this is from the recording from Kansas City Workshop, October 11th. And Abe's opening words to everybody is, you contribute to one another more than you know. And I think that's obviously multifaceted, but like in your case with the kids, it's like you clearly were receiving and they're like, this is what's going to happen. This is what's best for the greater good. And just giving up control, because we're not in control. We're in control of our desires, like putting things in our vortex. And once we log or register that thing, they're like, okay, we got it. You just get on the magic carpet and stop struggling and arguing. But like that, as soon as you started talking about the kids and the greater good, and we got this, and we can do it so much better. Is a delay, kind of like Noah showing up today. It's like, but our benefit to the world, our contribution to the world is so much bigger than what we can comprehend. I'm going to read it one more time. You contribute to one another more than you know. And I think that really rocks my world. It's like, I'm just over here playing with my non-physical team, and they're like, no, you are part of the ocean, and okay, Noah, bring it on. I can tell when Noah
this morning, I saw that one of the movies I wanted to watch was free, and it was on YouTube. And I'm like, ooh, let me go watch that. And y'all are talking, and I hear a whisper. And I'm like, oh, it's the whisper of non-physical whatever, but it's literally playing on this movie that I have like really turned down the volume, but I didn't realize I was going to be here. So it's playing while your guys are talking. You can't hear it, but I'm hearing it. And then I'm like, let me put that away. And then Batman the cat walks around the computer, presses the button and opens this tab again. And I'm like, okay, I'm just supposed to share whatever this is. The movie is called Showing Up. It's just about, I don't really know what it's about because I haven't seen it, but it's about the art community and putting it all together in like an exhibit and like really showing up. That's the name of the movie.
I think that's it. I think it's also always unfolding. Like, I feel like there's more to that story, and it's always unfolding, and it's always intricate and bespoke, and it's more than us. And I think that for me, I just try to lean into that. As an example, yesterday I was flailing around. I mean, struggling. Like I probably will be embarrassed if they show me on Abe now. I mean, I was flailing. I was having a 2-year-old kind of day. And I kept getting a nudge to text Julianne to talk to her about this thing. And I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. And I don't want to bother her and blah, blah, blah. And I kept arguing with the nudge, right? And finally I just messaged her. She's like, okay, I can talk tonight at whatever time. I said, yeah, just call me whenever. I'm at your mercy, kind of thing. And then at the end of the conversation, she's like, I love this stuff. I'm so happy you called me, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I just love it, love it, love it. And I was like, That's why you kept pinging me. I kept getting a nudge to message you, message you, message you. And I just kept trying to argue about it. But it's so much bigger than us, right? And then she sends me that message today that we contribute to each other more than we know. And this is it, you guys. Like, this is not a coincidence. And that to me is really, really mind blowing.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, there's something about the vibe once Noah entered the chat, once you joined us.
Well, this is the way Abraham described it. Like, you have to sustain a note long enough so that they know how to join in.
I mean, like focus on the thought long enough and then they join in. Is that what you're saying?
As in, if I were to hold a note, you could harmonize with that, but I have to hold the note first. Otherwise, it's like, what is this? What are we translating here? We don't know.
Okay, so in yoga teacher training, we start the Om process, right? And I'm not a singer, but I feel good in starting an Om. And so what happens is the teacher starts it, the students join it, and like you said, it balances itself and harmonizes. So that's interesting. I've never really thought of it that way, where Esther talks about the singing. They talk about Esther's singing bowls, right? How she can really get them humming and singing, and that lasts forever. So this is an interesting nugget of thought.
How does the bowl last forever?
Because every thought you ever thought still exists.
And a sound, once it's sent, it kind of continues out into the universe, into infinity as well, I think.
And I think that's why the three of us are here today. We started a tune or a tone, and the thoughts are happening while we're sleeping. This morning when I woke up, I'm like, I don't know what you guys did to me last night. And so Anthony's, it's what, 9:00 at night, and it's morning for us here in the States. But I could feel it building. Like when Anthony said, let's do it tomorrow morning, I'm like, I had some human resistance. And then I just heard, fuck it, go, Carrie. Let go, just let it unfold. And so, but again, the three of us started this thought process, or the hit the tuning fork, if you will, weeks ago. I think this is the surprise and delight too. Like when you really start just fully embodying who you are, what you're receiving, and acknowledge, yes, I'm my inner being and my non-physical cadre, as they like to say. They're always here. They're always playing with us. We had a delicious chat, Anthony, about Louise Hay. And I think the more we just lean into it and accept it, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. And I think we're all experiencing that currently in our lives, where we're waking up and we're going, oh, this is good.
The energy is always pointing towards where you want to go. And Esther is telling the story. She's driving and she feels an urge to turn right, but she's translating it, oh, don't go that way. And the energy is always saying over here. It's never saying don't, because that's pushing against and unnecessary. It's always go this way. It's just our translation about it and sort of letting go of that whole thought process in general.
I agree. As you as you receive and understand and translate energy, it gets bigger and deeper and stronger and more meaningful, which is kind of like Esther's the coffee from Caribbean Cruise, where they're like, Esther, you should move your jewelry. She ignored it. And then the coffee. And then her friend was like, well, why didn't they just tell you to turn the cup over? And they're like, because it's the jewelry. The jewelry was important to Esther. So, like the turn, they're never telling you to not do something. It's just such a strong calling to want it. It's not about the other stuff. It's here, here, here. And as we lean into this, and I think that's what we're doing here when we're continuing our Abe conversations, is when we lean into it, it's they really do have this 30,000-foot view of what's going on. And they're not, it was said, it's not about telling you in the hole, it's about you should go right, which is kind of like the jewelry and kind of like the turn that you were talking about. So if they're at 30,000 feet looking down on you and you're walking and there's a hole on the left, they're not going to tell you don't fall in the hole. They're going to say go right, which is just another way of saying what you said. And I think as we as humans begin to again translate and receive and experience, we're really tuning ourselves, pardon the pun, that was Jerry. Oh, tuning a guitar. Anthony, do you have something about tuning a guitar, tuning ourselves like tuning an instrument or saxophone, or have you got a nugget?
Yeah, there's stuff about tuning in to the vortex, and that's a two-way process. So music as a shortcut, as a hack to get to the vortex, to tune yourself to it, but then also tuning yourself to receive. Because I'm getting a strong message. We're always getting the message, we are here, we are here, we are here, and we're communicating with you all the time. You just have to tune into it.
But every time you get a musical instrument out, you have to retune, right? Like as you like guitar strings and environments, and you have to constantly tune, right?
And warm up your voice and get yourself into the rhythm. So you have to pre-pave for a performance. You can't. It's better if you pre-pave it.
Yeah. I think that we started talking about this a while ago, that we're PhD students. We're no longer freshmen in college. We're PhD students. And as we develop this ability, we're becoming world-class musicians and artists, because we're really learning how to tune and refine. The other day I was journaling, and I heard that I have a new vocabulary now as I play with my non-physical team and my inner being and whatnot. I have a new vocabulary. So I received a thought, and it was a new understanding. And I remember saying, oh, okay, I get it. And they're like, yeah, you do. You have a new vocabulary as far as receiving and hearing and understanding and translating. They're like, you have a new vocabulary now. So from that set point, we move forward. So like as an artist, you're no longer in kindergarten with a set of drumsticks. You're now in high school band, and you're in pep band, and we're going to teach new things in pep band. And then you're going to move on to college. Ooh, I just got thrill bumps. Then you're going to move on to college and you're in orchestra and it's different. And everything you learned from kindergarten or the moment that you started contributes to, like, the conversation that, oof, major throw, the conversation that the three of us are having right now is, again, PhD level or collegiate level, and we're taking all this stuff. Every time the three of us go, oh, I get it, or every time we receive a message, we bank that, and we're in a new point of understanding, attraction, point of view, and they're always going to give us something more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Right? Is everybody picking up on that? And can you see how you're growing in receiving messages and they're getting more complex and intricate and powerful?
The sophistication of the orchestration, you can pick it up, and I'm sitting here, and what I'm picking up is that Anthony has something to say about all of this. There is an orchestration that was started before we all got here. And I don't know why y'all waited for me to get here, but I'm glad to be here. But
Because the
there's
party
something
couldn't start
Anthony is
without
pointing
Noah.
to, and we're chatting about, so he can. We're going to swirl this around for him. So we're just going to keep talking. Anthony, you blurt in whenever you're ready.
Well, it's funny because I said orchestra and then you said orchestration. I'm like, of course they're orchestrating. And it goes back to just giving up the reins and let them orchestrate. So, Anthony, what do you got there?
I've got this is a Tannoc's tea cake, which is a Scottish British candy. It's a marshmallow inside a milk chocolate, and it's that good. And when I got to something which maybe pulls all of this together is when I got to Edinburgh in my hotel room, they were giving away, there were two of these in each hotel room. Then a few weeks later, I was in a law of attraction group and they were like, just for fun, make a list of 10 things you want to see to let kind of source show up for you. And I made a list of 10 things and one of them was Tunnock tea cake. And 9 of them came through quite quickly and the tea cakes weren't showing up. And then I got into this vibe with music and I got into this rhythm with music. And then I was, there was one evening where it was like, oh, what am I going to do? So I'll just do the thing that feels better. So I went to an open mic and there was this woman there. She's like, oh, you're great. Come and support my band. It'll be great. But then I also, that weekend, I realized I'd also entered a music competition. So I basically, two stories. One is I was humaning and getting all into a faff around. I was going around a supermarket, like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Because the supporting this woman is the same night as the music competition. And I was like, no, I want to support her. I want to do that. And then I bumped into an aisle and there was a whole pack of tea cakes available. And I got this very clear message: trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself. So, okay. So I did that. I did the gig with the woman and then I also did the music competition as well because that worked out. And then by the process of doing the music competition, I met this guy who we really connected with really well. And he introduced me to a singer called Amos Lee. I don't know if you've heard of, is an amazing singer-songwriter. And he's got a song called Flower, which is like captures the spirit of what happened with the flowers in Edinburgh. And then it turned out that I had to swap my night for the music competition with this guy. So there's all these cooperative components happening. But that was the one night that Amos Lee was playing in London live. And the two best venues to see music in the world, in my opinion, are Colorado Red Rocks, that's on my bucket list, and Union Chapel in London, which is basically a church. And Amos Lee was playing solo acoustic, and it's the most incredible gig I've ever been to. It's like this atmosphere of reverence and transcendence. And I went to the gig and I was like, I'll get something before. And at the back of the room, there's a little concession stand and selling the tea cakes. And then I was like, and then I said, "Oh, hi, can I buy one, please?" And the guy was like, "Oh, we've only got one left, and it's slightly damaged. Here, have it for free." And at which point Wayne Dyer piped up, and he was like, "See, I told you." Because Wayne Dyer's got this thing about, if you find a 5-cent piece, that's just as valuable as just give thanks to everything that comes your way. And I just thought, you fuckers, this, where's it been this whole time? It's here. You trust the
Always
process.
surprise and delight. It's never the boring. It's never the boring. And I always tell people your story should take that long to tell. Because it's never boring.
Right.
And like you said, it's like, you fuckers, you sound like me. Like even this morning, I'm like, oh my God, you guys are funny fuckers. It's never boring. They're here, they're playing, they're bantering. That's the greatest story ever. And I love that it wraps with Wayne Dyer going, come on, come on.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's never boring, is it?
And it's
So
the
how
point
did it
about your
feel
vortex.
when all of it was happening?
There was a through line of just feeling really, really good. I mean, there were moments of contrast around it, but all of those incidents, there was a through line, like a message in a stick of rock of like, feels good, feels good. The cooperative components have been assembled, and in a way that you can't understand. You just have to be open to it, Anthony.
That's it. You have to be open to the flow. Like all is well. Trust us. Like I said to you in our first go recording, it's just like you gotta trust us. It's like, okay, here's what you want, and you think it's a straight line to and they're like, no, here and then here and then here and there. But you just gotta keep going, and you gotta trust even
You've
when
just got to show up. Showing up, to your point, Noah. You've just got to show up.
Yeah, and you gotta understand that even if it doesn't feel good, it's a step one contrast moment. You gotta understand that that is your path of least resistance. So I messaged John Pepper yesterday, and as I was flailing around like a 2-year-old, right, Noah? I literally messaged Noah yesterday. I was trying to do a video for Abe Now, which has to be 59 seconds, by the way. You don't get 1 minute, you don't get 101, 59 mofo seconds. And I tried and tried and tried. And I finally texted Noah and I go, I have tried 10 times and I am giving up. I am not doing a video recording. I was having a 2-year-old moment. Anyway, so back to John Pepper. I had messaged him about my flailing and blah, blah, blah. And this is what he sends back to me this morning. The path of most allowance shifts around a lot. And that was a direct quote from Abraham. The path of most allowance shifts around a lot. And then John adds, it's fun to flow with the shifts. And I'm like, yeah, well, you can take your shifts and shove your shifts because this is not fun. I want off the goddamn ride. Just take me directly to my shit. Where are the tea cakes? And then I just woke up this morning and I'm just like, oh my God. I look back and I go, oh my God, 2-year-old temper tantrum. But and this morning has been magic, and that's, you just gotta trust that the tea cakes are there, I guess. Right? Noah?
Well, I'm like, there's all this blah, 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 and then as soon as you had submitted your video, I'm like, oh, I can share this story that I was feeling. I was compelled to share a story the day prior. And I'm like, I know this is relevant, but it didn't feel meaningful enough. So I'm just going to hold out until it feels really poignant in my own mind, firming it up before I have it presented. And Carrie finally submits her video. And I'm like, well, I think I can share this now. It still doesn't feel like anything, but I know it's relevant, and you had cleared up enough space, and I'm like, okay, I can send this now.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. And you're never alone either, even though I'm flailing around like a 2-year-old. So I'm in the forest, and it's November in Utah, and we're at like it's probably at 8,000 feet. And literally is snow on the ground. There's a couple of leaves still on the trees, but there's trees and sticks, and I'm trying to get some good light to do my video. And I'm literally in the effing forest trying to record this shit. And I'm flailing around and it's not working. And I look over at this branch. And again, there are 10,000 branches and twigs. I'm literally in the trees. There's a freaking ladybug crawling down, which is about eye level. Which, by the way, apparently ladybugs, A, exist at 8,000 feet with snow on the ground. And B, apparently ladybugs are chameleons because it was about the orange, soft yellow color of the fucking leaf that it was on. I always think of bright red, summertime, happy ladybugs. And I saw that little mofo like crawling down the thing. And I just went, oh my God, you guys are funny. Like, again, I'm flailing around like a 2-year-old having a temper tantrum. And here's this little ladybug crawling. And there's no way and no reason that it should have been there other than I was to see it and change my perspective on what I think does and doesn't exist and shouldn't exist. And it injected humor into this little temper tantrum that I was having, trying to record a video for Abe. And Noah and I are playing. You're never alone. You're just never alone. They never abandon you. You can pinch yourself off pretty good, but if we can keep this sense of humor and the awareness and just keep the valves open, it's really quite surreal. So then I give up like a 2-year-old, and I get back in my car and I text Noah and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing a video. I have tried like 10 times and I've been out here for a half hour, and damn the ladybug. I give up. I'm just not going to do it. So I get in my car and I'm driving down the mountain, and I have my windows open trying to get some fresh air, and my passenger window is open. I look over and I'll be damned if there's not another ladybug like crawling down the leading edge of the window. And I was like, okay, not one, but two. And what's the other word for ladybug? Love.
Ladybird. Love. Oh.
Love bug. Ladybird. Yeah. Seriously, minuscule. A ladybug is like a third of the size of your fingernail. I'm like, when things like that happen, the tea cakes, you just go, I'm not alone. And there's nothing serious going on here. Right?
Yeah, the message, we are here, we are here, we are here, is the message from source that keeps coming through. And that can happen in a multitude of small ways, right?
And it gets bigger. Like, so they always tell us child's play, right? The ladybugs, the tea cakes, the child's play. But then I started asking, okay, so what's next? What's more? And be careful when you say that, right? You start receiving more and more profound, not child's play thing. Anybody want to speak to that?
I'm interested in what's cooking over with you, Noah, at the moment.
I'm having thoughts about what's happening, and I'm using my imagination to direct it all. But what's happening here is, and I don't know why it's only with Carrie. Carrie will talk, and then there's a replication over on Anthony's side. Just the echo, but I'm calling it a replication because it feels like some sort of creation is going on. I'm being very this is very loosey goosey, but there's something here about it. But when I think of replication, I think of DNA and I think of creation, and there's something here. I'm just pointing it out. There's something here that
I think this is part of what's next, what's more. Like, it's one thing to talk about repeating numbers and tea cakes, but there's more. And I think that the three of us are asking for more. B, we know that there's so much more in our vortex. And this is something, Noah, that you and I have talked about a lot. Like, and after Canadian cruise, which, by the way, at the end they said, keep in touch with each other. And Abraham doesn't usually say that. And we have such a great group of Abers that are communicating in real time and communicating energetically. But for me, I'm saying, okay, I get it. Child's play. What's next? And what's next is what's in your vortex. And so whether that's a healthy, happy, sexy body, deeper relationships, the job you want, the abundance, whatever is in your vortex that you've been holding yourself apart from, I feel like they're saying, okay, now that we've done child's play and you've learned how to walk, let's walk. And we turn that on by flowing thought and feeling and focus. And this is something that Noah and I have been playing with a lot lately, is finding the feeling place of. And Esther and Abraham have been talking about this a lot too. Esther has been talking to Jerry and saying, okay, show me what the vortex feels like. Show me, like, really, really focusing her thought and expanding this relationship that she has with Jerry in the now. And again, like, it's fun to talk about the frivolous stuff, but it's not frivolous. Like, it's all important. So that's not really the child's play stuff, but leaning into next steps, I think, is where we're at. Is that kind of the vibe?
There's a vibration here, and through manifestation, it squirts out in many different ways. And we're all just sort of realizing it as we're doing it.
Right. So we're realizing it. And then what's next? So when I said to Noah, I was throwing my 2-year-old temper tantrum about recording the video, Noah said, oh yeah, you really have to focus on your question to be able to do it in one minute. And it hit me. I was like, isn't that life?
What
Like,
happened was there was a woman who asked a very simple question. It didn't feel like anything, but Abraham said that was a very focused thought that she presented, even though the question itself was very basic. I don't remember it. I will find it maybe, but the sophistication of the thought doesn't always show up in the question. You have to move the energy and yourself, and it'll be translatable through your senses.
Yes. And that's a comedy skit. Yes. And that we focus. We are powerful focusers. And when we focus and find the feeling of, then we can get on that boat with our inner being and go to that place. But we have to focus. And as we're humaning, we're not focusing. And when we focus, which is what we do in the hot seat, when you get in the hot seat, you're focused on a question. I just think that's what we're playing with, is like focusing with our inner being on allowing ourselves to be drawn to our items in the vortex. It's like when they talk about your hands in the clay and working with the clay, you're focused because the wheel is spinning and your hands are literally in it. So you're focused on it. You're not thinking about something else. You're thinking about, I want to create a bowl or a vase or a, right? And so I think we're being called to focus, focus on something, draw it to us, connect the dots that I did that. And then we can move on to the next thing and the next thing.
And the
It's
next
like a loss system where you go onto one layer and then you go to the next. And it takes time, right? The water doesn't just fill up and you go.
and you go.
It's focus, focus, focus. Anybody have anything on that, Anthony?
The feeling of focus.
What it feels like to do all this music with children, and what does that feel like?
It feels very pure. It feels very powerful. It feels like fun. It feels like part of a bigger script. It feels like I'm receiving. It feels like we're all in this together. It feels like, oh, okay, I'm just receiving info here and I'm just going with it.
That's what you did. You focused. You're like, end lesson, focus on fun. When you ended the lesson and played the song for the kids, you're like, okay, end lesson, focus everybody here. Music helps us focus on the emotion, right? Or the message.
Yeah, and there's something about recently, there's moments where I get a bit sidetracked by step one stuff. And let's put it that way. And then I have moments where I just kind of go, close my eyes or in bed late at night, and I'm just going, well, what's going on in my vortex right now?
Ooh, I love that. What's going on in my vortex right now? Dude, that's
It's just like,
good. Holy shit.
swirling, blah, 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 blah. Contrast, step one. Hold on. What's it like in my vortex right now?
Oh my God, I love that, dude. Esther would love that too. That's good. Because that's it. Because when we're disconnected, we're outside the vortex. And you're like, hold up, this doesn't feel good. What's going on in my vortex? Because they're having a party. With or without us, they're having a party. You're either in the stream of well-being or you're not. I fucking love that, dude. That's good. I'm gonna have a t-shirt made that says that.
That's maybe why I'm here.
That was good. That was, well, I mean, why you're here is so multifaceted. It's like you picking up that card that says, tell me what the greeting card said again.
Oh, you are in control.
Remember, Anthony, you texted me the greeting.
In love with the universe and its perfect timing.
And it's kind of like what you said. What's going on in my vortex? Is that what you just said? I wonder what's going on in my vortex.
What's going on in my vortex right now? Okay, so I'm here. Let's just tune in. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the three of us show up and we're playing in our vortexes.
I'm having a thought. And when I was very little, as little ones do, you have bad dreams sometimes. And because I had the bad dreams and went through the contrast, I've developed this skill where I can like wake myself up before like I'm just like, I'm getting out of here. I can literally force my eyes open and awaken.
I love that. It's pre-paving. It's like stopping the momentum before, I mean, we do that when we're awake as humans too. It's like, okay, I can feel myself going down this negative Nancy track, or I can feel my lately I've been saying I'm throwing garbage on my railroad track, right? Like, so you've laid on the railroad tracks on the train, and I can feel myself throwing garbage. Because it's awareness of momentum. You're like, I have momentum going in this direction. And even though I'm sleeping, I'm stopping it and going, hey, what's going on in my vortex? Because this bad dream, this whatever is not happening. What's going on over here in my. I love that, Anthony. That was so good. That was really, really. And that's it too. I think I just want to eat, sleep, and play in my vortex. Even like yesterday when I was like and a half out, or perhaps I was in my vortex experiencing some step one-ish, but it was more 3 to 5-ish where I could see the humor in it. Right? Like when Noah texted me, it was like, Carrie, you just gotta focus. And I was like, oh, that's right. I gotta focus, get in the vortex. And then you kind of fall out of the vortex with some thoughts, some less than 7 on the emotional scale thoughts. And then you let yourself get sucked back in with good conversation or good music or humor or ladybugs or right? But we're always doing this dance.
Yeah, changing the channel on the remote control. It's like, okay, I'm on channel 3 now, and I'm kind of getting lost in the contrast and the what isness. But I can switch to channel 7, and that's Vortex TV. And it's like, whoa, this is happening live right now.
Yeah. And you're like, wait, I missed the intro. And they're like, don't worry, you're here now.
Yeah.
What, Noah? What you got going on there?
Nothing's going on. It's just like, the movie's playing. Just because you missed the first minute, you can still get into it.
Yeah.
You can still show up.
My gosh.
Like
I
today,
want to watch that movie just because it has an artist's heart in it, because it's all about like having an exhibit and putting your heart into it and the whole analogy for life thing.
Yeah, there's also something coming through about just the having fun and the being easy about it for me right
yes.
now.
Yeah.
The not
And
making a big deal out of it.
and I was just gonna piggyback on what Noah said too about there's a movie playing and it doesn't matter if you miss the first minute, you can still jump in and understand and receive the fullness. And I think as we get into bigger things, and I'm re-listening to Canadian Cruise right now, and I'm listening to my friends and their hot seat questions, and I know them in the now as well. Like we just had Jen on, and she got the cat from Abraham Hicks publication, and I was listening to her hot seat, and I feel like once we've shown ourselves that inner being and non-physical is here, it's like, okay, let's tackle some of the bigger things. Like as an example, I think this is okay to say because she's going to come on. Shannon had a hot seat on Canadian Cruise, and when it got down to it, she's like, I want to get in my van with my cat and go travel. And so that was her hot seat moment. And so I feel like a lot of us are really getting into, ooh, I just got some thrill bumps. I feel like more and more of us are trusting this inner being, non-physical relationship and the magical unfolding, like you were just saying, Anthony, that, okay, this is here, this is real. Now what? And leaning into some things that previously made us uncomfortable, but we're still putting one foot in front of the other and doing the thing that's a little bit scary, despite our fears, because we're knowing this connection to non-physical. So like I literally had my bags packed for this trip. I bought new clothes and jewelry, and I did this and that, and I was thinking about that in the shower, and I heard my non-physical team go, yeah, you're getting ready to be ready. I was like, what? And it was like, yeah, literally, like my bag is still packed. I'm looking at it right now. I was like, oh yeah. So even if something doesn't transpire, like my trip didn't happen, I'm just getting ready to be ready. So next time I'm ready. Like I have 2 pairs of tennis shoes that my mom said something and I go, "Yeah, like I'm surprising myself at how quickly I can pack my bags these days and feel prepared when I go out the door. Like if you called me right now, feel free to call me anybody and offer me an opportunity. Maybe I'm going to London for those damn tea cakes. It might be London. I don't know. Um, but acknowledging that it wasn't that something didn't work out for me, even though that's how I felt yesterday. It's that I'm always getting ready to be ready. Like my fingernails are done, my toes are done. I got some new clothes and my bags are packed. And even though the trip didn't happen, it's the getting ready to be ready. So next time I'm in a different point of attraction. Does that make sense to anyone?
Yes.
Like analogous, do you have an analogous story, or can you feel how your inner being Noah is like saying, come over here, do this, and then cumulatively you look back and go, oh, I can see that they're showing me, they're getting me ready to be ready for the next thing. Does I don't know what you got, Noah.
Well, what I'm being shown, and it's a vision, is to sustain the goosebump feeling for 68 seconds.
I literally just got goosebumps when you said that.
Okay, sustain that for.
Okay, the 3 of us, are you ready? Let's focus. Okay, ready? Go ahead, Noah, keep going.
Oh, okay. You know, it's very tingly, almost flushing.
Champagne
And
bubbles?
yes, all the thoughts are being drawn as we're doing it. If you want to chime in, come right along. But Abraham's like the feeling of swooning is the feeling of stepping into the vortex. It feels flushing,
My lips are vibrating.
vibrating.
Resonance, music, vibration, tuning fork. Anthony, can you feel the energy?
Chest, warmth, chest, resonance,
Warmth is a good one.
warmth.
That always means like the familial love in the chest. And Esther talked about the insulation going into the house in Edinburgh, and that's how Edinburgh feels to her, is this warm hug.
Receiving.
This is good.
Vital, energetic,
Visceral.
visceral.
Visceral. Alive, vitality, life force. life force, current, circuitry, plugged in, plug the guitar in.
Eternal.
Eternal? Yeah. Undeniable, infinite, eternal.
Swirling, swooning, vibes.
Vortexual.
This is
Life
really
force.
it, isn't it? When you first got into Abraham, you were thinking, oh, yeah, it would be, this is fun concept. And then all of a sudden, here we are, eat, sleep, breathing, feeling, vibing, playing.
Emanating.
Ooh, emanating. I want to talk about that. On Canadian Cruise at the end of my hot seat, they are like, you alls, youans, as my friend says, you all, you, oh, they just said all those words you guys just put into vibration. You are that. You're emanating, you're vibrating, you are all of that. You're putting your music out into the world, your vibration, and it's being heard and received in such multifaceted ways that we can't even comprehend, which is, yeah, buddy, I love it. Yes, Anthony, hell yes. And like Julianne offered, that we are affecting others in ways that we can't even comprehend, whether we're sleeping or somebody is listening to this in the now. We are always receiving the good vibes. And that's the beauty of music, like Coltrane. Ooh, I just got thrill bumps. It persists and exists, and it's just this magic carpet ride of deliciousness. And when we pick that vibration, we are undeniable humans on the planet. And they said, yeah, Noah, yep, you know where I'm going. We are undeniable. Ineffable was one of Jerry's favorite words, but that we are eliciting from others this magic. And as I'm watching Anthony, is analogous to the music, where Anthony is explaining that he's so drawn by, like, he says there's two places where great music. I was in one of them with an acoustical live performance. It's that we're trying to put words to the juice of life force, and this is it. We're experiencing it. We're feeling it as we're asking non-physical for more and more and more. They keep goosing it up and goosing it up, and we're receiving it and we're feeling it, and they love us putting words and emotion to this receiving, and that we as human beings are undeniable in this vibration, that people are drawn to us and called to us, and they don't even know what a vortex is, and we suck them in to their vortex, like you, Anthony, with the kids. You just sucked everybody into this amazing, juicy, wonderful musical situation, and you're continually putting yourself into this vacuum, this vortexual vacuum. And once we experience this, there's no going back, right?
Mm, 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 mm. Mic drop. Boom.
Noah does that too. Noah will be like, no more, Carrie. And I'm like, yeah, but the music is flowing. One more song.
Mm.
I think the three of us came together with some thoughts.
Mm.
And what we got, what we received is so much more than words. We received the vibration. And that's what they're always teaching us and telling us. It's not the words. Esther receives blocks of thought.
Yeah, yeah,
We're,
yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
receiving blocks of thought. We're receiving a vibration.
Vibration.
And we're receiving vibrations based upon our specific wanting, and they're going to deliver it to us in the most fantastic, delicious,
Delicious.
yummy, musical, vibrational ways. And it's our job to tune our ear to what they're offering.
Mm.
And like you said, Anthony, what's going on in my vortex? Because I can feel I'm here and I want to be there. And when we're there, it's just this magic carpet ride of music, right? Like we don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to do anything. Just get on the train.
Yeah.
Coltrane. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, just get on the train. And he goes, Coltrane.
Word. Mm.
Coltrane, get
Mm.
on the train. Okay, well, I wish I could play some music. We already determined that I can't play music and you guys can't hear it. Um, but I did pull up John Coltrane and
Train.
tell me what the
Tell me
song is.
what the song is. My favorite things.
Hmm,
Hmm.
that's appropriate.
That's
And you can't hear that?
no, but we can go off and listen to it in our own way.
Yeah, it's funny because, like I said, at the end of Jen and I, on episode 6, she ended with, "I can feel it coming," and that's quite the I won't repeat the whole
I won't repeat the
there for people to receive,
to
but
receive. But
music is really
music
oh,
really.
there you
There
go.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Music is really rocking my world, and, I've been saying that they are, romancing me, courting me, serenading me.
Serenade.
It's amazing how when you open to that, that you get serenaded and romance, and it always means something, and it's always very
And it's always
clear,
very
isn't it? Like,
like.
whether it's the words or the beat or the crescendo. And the song that Jennifer and I were talking about is I Can Feel It Coming. I've got some really
Yeah.
surreal. So Phil Collins and Miami Vice was the original version. And then
Version, and then
Spotify, another version popped up, which is juicy and delicious. And at the end of episode 6, Jennifer's like, "Oh, I have a new version," and she played it, and I just sat
played it,
there,
and I just
cried because it was tears of joy and receiving and connection, and it moves you. Music moves you in a visceral way, doesn't it? Just like what we just experienced together.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Parting thoughts, Anthony?
I like where we landed on with your rampage.
Oh,
Um, what's going on in my vortex right now? Yes. Yeah.
I can feel pulsing and I can feel the music. I can viscerally feel in my body. It's like blood
It's
pumping
like
on
blood pumping on.
steroids.
Mm.
What do you
I,
feel?
I I think that's my closing thought, is that I had that as a small moment, what's going on in my vortex right now, and now that's been really amplified by talking to you two, and it's like, oh, Boom. There it is. Okay. That's what's next for me. Yeah. That's what's next.
I was just going to say that. I heard him just say, and this is just the start. It's just the start to the conversation, which, started way back when the three of us, but yeah, this is just another starting point, another starting point. There's another concert coming and another concert, and we don't have to be physically here in conversation, that the conversation continues and continues. Like the music never dies is what they said, which is really juicy and exciting, isn't it?
Really good.
Yeah. All right, friends. I have no idea what time it is or how long we went, but this was surprise and delight and juicy. And like I said, I can just feel the energy and the music pulsing, and I can feel the party in the vortex. And I hope everybody
Sustaining
else,
the note. Sustaining the note. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And when we're not in the vortex, or we feel like, where's the music?
Mm.
Look for it where it is, like Esther looking for Jerry where he is in the now. The note is being sustained, and like Noah and Anthony hold the note when Carrie's not holding the note, and vice versa, and our inner beings and non-physical. We didn't even talk about Stevie Wonder.
Didn't
Next,
need to.
yeah,
Didn't need to. It was
that's
there.
yeah,
Implicit.
so good. Okay, well, here we go, right?
Thanks for this. Thanks for this time.
This was so good. Thank you for tuning in from London, and thanks for making this happen too. I really appreciate your let's do this. Yeah. Yeah, this is just getting started, my friend. And thanks, Noah. I'm sure you're off feeding the cat or something, but this this was fun. Okay. And off to Abe now we go.
Appreciation. Mhm.
So much gratitude. All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.